Well, thanks for tuning into the trade setup this morning. Good morning to all of you and hope you have a great day ahead. Well, it could be if you are indeed invested and bullish, it could well be a decent outing or a decent start. Let's wait and watch if the rest of the day shapes up like that. So what did the US markets do? Well, you would have to say more volatility. In terms of headline numbers, precious little. They kind of started well, then had a bit of gyration, and then actually went up to the peak and eventually settled down about 0.25% or thereabouts. So hardly any move there for the Dow, S&P, and the Nasdaq. But the Dow futures are still marginally higher. There is hope that after 3 weeks of losses, the US markets could actually have a week which ends with gains, and therefore the Dow futures are at least up in the green. And if that indeed happens during the course of the day, then you might actually not have a bad outing for the week for the Dow, and which is probably not bad for the other markets too. Asia has mixed bag, to be honest. Because obviously no great cues from the US markets, as I said, just about 0.25% there. So some markets are in the green, some markets are in the red. But again, no large moves, you would have to admit. 0.5% up for HSI, Kospi flattish. I think ASX was flattish. So Nikkei was okay. So no big cues there. But the SGX Nifty is trading with a bit of green. I think the last time that I saw 0.68% in the green for the SGX. So that is probably, excuse me, from an Indian market watcher's perspective, not a bad sign. That we'll at least have a start, which is not looking all that bad. 1% higher now. So it's actually strengthened from the last time I saw. You see that sharp uptick there, which is actually not bad. Now, the backdrop to this move is not the best, right? Because we ended the September series yesterday, and everybody knows it was not a pleasant end. The problem is that the September series wiped out all of the gains of the August series, and therefore the momentum paused. And the Nifty breached the crucial support zone of the 200-day moving average with remarkable ease yesterday. I think that becomes a bit of a near-term resistance levels, right? That 11,000 to 11,100 band is a resistance level if you are indeed watching the index, not just from a day's perspective, but from what could happen in the near-term perspective. And volatility spiked this week. India VIX is up about 16-17%, if I'm not wrong. And after last 5 series of declines, on series-to-series basis, VIX has spiked up. And the problem, viewers, is that, of course, we'll show the VIX as well. If we can show the chart of the India VIX, then great. But even if not, the problem, viewers, is that since it's the beginning of a new series, the options data doesn't quite give you the right picture because it's scattered all across strike prices. So therefore, don't look at the call put option data for the start of the week to tell you any story. This is what I was telling you about, though. India VIX, and that has spiked about 17% in this week. So volatility is on the uptrend, or has been on the uptrend, which is actually not a good sign if you're indeed on the bullish side. So having said that, we'll start off okay. Excuse me, my throat is playing tricks today. But having said that, since we'll start off okay today, that it takes care of the near-term problem if you're a bull. But yeah, there are some issues at hand which we shouldn't ignore. However, what are individual names that you should all focus on? I think that is important. So IT stocks will be very important. Accenture's quarterly numbers missed estimates. They've also said that the growth rates will remain lower for the next 2 quarters. However, this is the headline number. However, if you just look at the results carefully, the commentary and the order bookings have been pretty strong. I would say, yes, they have guided that growth rates will remain lower for the next 2 quarters, but there are individual verticals in which they are seeing some traction. They are talking about growth rates picking up in their second half. Their year ends in February, viewers. It's a bit weird, but it ends in February. So the second half, or rather the half year, ends in February. So the second half, which is post-February, Accenture sees that to be positive. So be mindful of that. Order bookings have been very strong. And keep in mind that while Accenture has done what it has done, an Indian IT company, which is the only one which has come out mid-quarter, which is HCL Tech, has given positive commentary and positive guidance. So while Infi ADR ended lower, 3 or 4%, if I'm not wrong, I think the market buoyancy plus what most people are making of the commentary of Accenture might mean that IT stocks, even if they start off slightly lower, might recover during the course of the day. So tricky trade, be mindful of that. Then you have to watch out for Granules India. It's a money control report that KKR, Bain, and Blackstone are in race to acquire majority stake in Granules. Now, I admit we have no clue about this, viewers. We do not have any inkling of this. BloombergQuint has not been able to verify this report, but the stock might be active, and therefore it was important to bring it out. So if you wonder this morning if Granules is active as to why, it's on account of this report. Tata Consumer Products is the other one that I would very keenly watch out for, simply because they are weighing, this is Bloomberg News report, of course, viewers, but they are weighing a non-binding bid for the coffee vending business of Cafe Coffee Day. This is a Bloomberg report, of course. Now, Coffee Day is seeking a valuation of about 2,000 crores, which is $271 million for the vending machine business. But it shows that Tata Consumer Products is actively seeking out newer growth avenues. And could this be in some way related to Starbucks getting a foothold? I would presume that would be the case, because that's how Tata Consumer Products would go about and do this. It's a franchise of, remember, it's a wholly owned subsidiary of Tata Consumer Products, is Starbucks. So could be interesting. Let's wait and watch. Last but not the least, a few stocks that all of us should keep in mind based on delivery volumes. I now started doing this because it's important. Advanced Enzymes was a big gainer yesterday. On the 20% circuit day, the delivery volumes were 66%. Obviously, a lot of people in smart money or otherwise just took home the stock. Do watch out for this one. Similarly, for Praj, decent delivery volumes on that 4% uptick. But on the sell side as well, I thought it was interesting. The 2 or 3 names which got sold yesterday, and one of them had fairly high delivery percentages, which is Gujarat Pipavav Port. Nomura as a house is marginally bullish on this one, but this one cracked yesterday on very high delivery volume. So be mindful of that. Emphasis and Mahindra CIE are the other two that we should all watch out for. So these are a few names that you should keep at the back of your mind. Now, what stood out for me in trade, not that I could afford it ever, but the iconic brand Harley Davidson is going to discontinue sales and manufacturing in India. They didn't have very large operations any which ways. It's led to about 70 India employees being laid off, and it's a part of a global rewire strategy announced. But that's one more auto brand that kind of shuts shop in India. I mean, a lot of people will tell you it's a great positive for Royal Enfield and Eicher. I don't think they had such large volumes, but yes, in terms of the only perceived competition per se that Royal Enfield had is also out from the Indian shores. So maybe that's a positive for Royal Enfield. But from my perspective, it's an iconic brand that no longer will operate in India, even though the operations were really, really small. But yeah, that's it, viewers, on this leg of the trade setup from me and the team that put this piece together. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day ahead. Watch out for IT. It may have a volatile start, but the sector is strong, and therefore you never know. The dips could be an opportunity to enter into some of the stronger names. Thanks so much for tuning in.